Imagine walking onto a $500 million battleship, the apex of military hardware, equipped with nothing but a fake beard, some theatrical grease paint, and a made-up language. Today we're exploring the Dreadnought Hoax of 1910. It's a story that proves logic is actually a trap. And I'm going to show you how a group of artists used pataphysical absurdity to make the British Royal Navy look like fools. By the end of this video, you'll have a step-by-step guide on how to apply the Bunga Bunga mindset to hack your way into rooms you aren't qualified to enter and solve modern problems by simply refusing to acknowledge the rules. You're standing on a train platform in London, 1910. Your skin is stained dark with stage makeup that's already starting to itch. You're draped in a heavy, ridiculous silk robe that smells like a theater's basement. Attached to your chin is a beard so obviously fake it looks like a dead squirrel. You aren't a soldier. You aren't a diplomat. You're a young writer named Virginia, later known to the world as Virginia Woolf, and you are currently terrified. You're about to board the HMS Dreadnought, the most powerful weapon on the planet. Your credentials? A fake telegram and a group of friends who are currently whispering gibberish to each other. The Navy officers are walking toward you. They are men of logic, men of iron, men of protocol. If they catch you, it's prison. But as they get closer, something strange happens. They don't see the fake beard. They see the authority you've projected. They bow, and you realize the wall isn't real. Welcome back to Thought Trek, your digital odyssey into the realms of knowledge and the absurd. This week we are mastering the architecture of the impossible. We're exploring how to solve unsolvable life problems using imaginary solutions. Today's lesson, logic is terrified of embarrassment. We're looking at how the Bunga Bunga mindset can turn the most rigid authority figures into your personal tour guides. The HMS Dreadnought was the pride of the British Empire. It was a fortress of logical defense. Enter the Bloomsbury Group, a band of eccentric intellectuals led by the prankster Horace de Vere Cole. They sent a telegram to the Navy-signed Foreign Office, stating that Abyssinian princes were arriving for a secret inspection. When they arrived, the princes, including Woolf, spoke a chaotic mix of Latin and Greek fragments. When the Navy showed them a massive cannon, the group tapped it and shouted, "Bunga Bunga," a phrase they literally just made up on the train. Here is the pataphysical turning point. Several officers on the ship actually knew these pranksters personally. One officer was even Virginia's cousin. But because the setting was official and the persona was royal, the officers' logical brains hit a dead end. They were so terrified of the social embarrassment of being wrong or disrespectful to royalty that they suppressed their own eyes. They gave the princes a full top-secret tour of the ship's inner workings. The lesson: logic is a hostage to social status. Most logical thinkers aren't actually looking for the truth. They're looking for the safest path to avoid looking stupid. If you create a persona that is too big to question, the logical world will hold the door open for you because they are terrified of the diplomatic incident of saying no. We are taught to follow the logical path. Get the degree, wait for the invite, pay your dues. But the Bunga Bunga solution says the invite is an imaginary object. You can invent it. Whether you're trying to network with billionaires, get a sold-out seat at a conference, or leapfrog over a required 10 years of experience, here is your 3-step pataphysical guide to social engineering. The costume of the exception. Don't dress for the job you want, dress like a person who is exempt from the rules of that job. If everyone is in suits, wear a high-fashion statement piece. If everyone is casual, be the only person in a tuxedo. Logic dictates uniformity. The impossible mindset dictates uniqueness. People don't challenge what they don't recognize. The Bunga Bunga lexicon. When entering a high-level conversation, use pataphysical jargon. Create or use high-concept metaphors that sound brilliant but are slightly confusing. If a logical person doesn't understand you, they won't call you out. They'll nod along to avoid looking uncultured. Use this silence to steer the deal. The terrified of embarrassment close. When you hit a no, treat it as a hilarious misunderstanding of their protocol, not yours. Say, "Oh, I assumed you were one of the firms that handled this. My mistake, I'll take this elsewhere." Watch how fast they pivot to say, "Wait, no, we do that," to avoid looking like they aren't in the loop. Virginia Woolf and her friends proved that a fake beard is more powerful than a battleship if you understand the psychology of the person behind the trigger. Logic is a cage built out of the fear of being wrong. But once you realize that everyone is just pretending to know what they're doing, you can start inventing your own imaginary solutions. You don't need a key to the vault. You just need to be the person the guards are too embarrassed to stop. Are you ready to stop being a logical thinker and start being a miracle inventor? Hit that subscribe button and join the Thought Trek community. Share this video with one friend who is too by the book for their own good, and don't go anywhere. Tonight we're launching a 2-part storytime series on the ultimate real-world application of the Bunga Bunga strategy. Thanks for trekking with us into the architecture of the impossible. Remember, if the door is locked, it's probably just a painting of a door. Draw your own. We'll see you in the next one.